God. But God uses the same text that he gave to Israel in Exodus. Listen to what he says. He says, but you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a kingdom of priests. In Exodus, it says you are a kingdom of priests. It's the same as you royal priesthood, an holy nation. Then he says, a peculiar people. He called them, you are my treasured possession. A peculiar people, that you shall show forth the praises of him who has called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. The same concept, same three concepts. You are my treasured possession. You are going to be a kingdom of priests. You are a holy nation. Same concept. He says here, you are a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people. Here he actually adds, he says, you are a chosen generation. You are a chosen generation. So the same blessing that was given to Israel has been given to us as a church. But God does not want to replace Israel. Israel still need to seek God by themselves. But God has given us people that were not close to the blessings of Israel. He has drawn us. As long as we believe, the Bible in Ephesians says, now us who had no hope in this world, we have hope. Who had no God, we have God. Who are far away from the commonwealth of Israel, we've been brought near to understand the promises that which God wanted to communicate to the whole earth. That I love the earth, and I would want this earth to be delivered. So it's important for us to understand where God has drawn us. So Israel was supposed to carry the message of God's goodness to all peoples of the earth. Similarly, the church universal, is supposed to carry the good news to all the peoples of the earth. Now, I want to use that background to give just a few thoughts. But before I do that, I want you to remember what God talks about the Levites, because I wanted to anchor this in the book of Joshua. This is what he tells to the Levites. He tells Joshua, he tells Eliezer. Actually, the promises he had already told Moses. You read this in Deuteronomy, you read this in Numbers and Leviticus. And he says, when you enter the promised land, you should not give Levi any inheritance. For I, the Lord, I am their inheritance. Now, this is what God did. In Egypt, when he was delivering the children of Israel in Egypt, God did this. He demanded the death of every firstborn of the Egyptian's family and every first animal that was delivered in Egypt. During that time, that's a time we call the Passover delivery. God had taught the children of Israel to keep a lamb and keep it almost like a pet lamb. They would stay with it in their home. Then at a particular time, they would kill this lamb, they would draw the blood, and they would paint on the lintel of the house. And the Bible says, I'll send an angel of death. An angel of death. That's interesting. That's an oxymoron, eh? An angel who brings death. God is amazing. An angel of death. He says, I'll bring an angel of death. From God can come an angel of death. He says, I'll send an angel of death, who shall walk in, and wherever I do not see the blood, I'll enter there and kill the firstborn. But wherever I see the blood, I'll pass over. That's